So today's task is very simple, and it's about exploring the things that are happening in your children's lives. Their days have changed, of course, dramatically, just like ours have. They're not school days, they're not weekend days, they're not holiday days. There's a different kind of day where someone is trying to do some schoolwork with them, and they don't know what's happened, and they don't know where you've gone, and maybe you're online with them. And there's some brilliant maths activities we can do here with the aim of helping them develop math skills in relation to time, but also in the main thing, we use maths to help us live our lives better. It's to help them get to grips with everything that is happening to them. So I'm not going to pop up the next slide just yet. I'll talk through it and then I'll pop it up and you can use it to review. What we're going to do is go to Twinkle here, and I've typed in my day at the top here. So if we go to my day, so I'd like you to have a look at this resource here, the visual timetable for the home, and this resource here, the editable mini additional visual timetable cards. So we have got these ones first. So these are already here, and what I would like you to do if you want to engage in this task is get your parents to use these cards, spread them all out on the table or the floor, and get the children talking about what's happening in the cards. And can they relate to the things that they're seeing? Which things are relevant to them? Maybe some of these things look so different to the way they do them that actually they're not going to be able to relate to them. If the child in the picture doesn't look like them, if where the child is sleeping or playing doesn't look like where they sleep or play, then we listen to our children and we pick this up. So it's about talking. What we're not trying to do is put these all in order yet. Many of us use visual timetables in school, and that's great, but they are put together by adults, not with children. And children's perception of what happens when is very much led by what they want to happen and what they're looking forward to or what they're worried about. So this activity today is about children just identifying and noticing and relating to things that they do in their lives already. And then the second thing we're going to do, I'm just going to move this slightly so I can I've got a Word document here, which is also from Twinkle I've downloaded. There's some more here. Now what's above I don't think is going to be appropriate for early years here. But look below, you've got loads more pictures, some of which again are relevant and some aren't, but they're all editable. If you click on them, you can actually change what it says, so you can have a lot more, you can make the language more appropriate, or you can write a different language in there if you want. So use the cards, that's the first part of the task. The second part of the task is to get the children to draw some of their own cards. So what are some of the things that they are doing at home now? Maybe they're things that they always do but just aren't on these pictures, and maybe they're things that they started to do since they became homeschooled. So we are trying to create a situation where we start to understand what it is, how they see their days and how they see what's happening to them. We'll use those tomorrow to begin to look at maybe appropriate ways of ordering those. But what we've got to really stress with the parents or carers is this is not about getting the children to do that immediately. We need to slow down on that. If I just go back to my slides and have a look here, we've got here, so I've put here about Twinkle. I've said about, make sure you listen to the slides if you are just looking at the slides on their own. Here, this bit is for later, really. If you get parents to start doing this over a number of days, I'll give some more input on this tomorrow, but maybe the parent just generally talks about before and after and next and then with the child on a daily basis rather than with the pictures to begin with. It's hugely complex for children to think about things that aren't happening at that time. And young children, they live moment to moment. They don't have big picture thinking like we do as adults, because they don't have the understanding and the experience that we have. So they don't think about the life in the joined up way that we do. So incredibly important here that children are listened to, and that really the agenda here is backing off and finding out what the children think is important, not worrying about what happens first thing in the morning and so forth. We'll move on to that later. So I would love you to share this with your children. By all means, share with me the way you shared it with the parents. Certainly, once you start getting some pictures back from your children, either mid-task or something they've drawn, please share them, because that would be so lovely to see. So I hope the task makes sense. I hope the cards are useful, but main message is this is not a task about putting things in order. It is a task about children talking about the things that happen in their day, and it doesn't matter when they happen, and it's about us making it relevant to the children and reflecting this new life that they have found themselves in.